Hey guys, Guy here from Levi Stadium at the Yellow Lot, the parking garage across from Levi Stadium on Tasman Drive. I know a lot of you somebody's gonna watch this video and say, "Guy, you're backlit." That's not, that's bad. I know. Sorry, nothing I can do about it. No Brock Purdy today. Personal day, personal reasons. But I got takes. I got some takes today. A couple of takes today. One, I have to correct a take. I and then I'm going to back up another take. So the correction is this is a real kicker competition. I might have mentioned it once before, and if I did, that was also a correction of my original take, which was that ties are going to go to Jake Moody. Ties are not going to go to Jake Moody. Brant Boyer watched his press conference today, talked to him, Jake Moody today, and Jake's obviously made some adjustments to his. He's going to go 2 steps instead of 3 steps before the kick. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I'm just saying it like he said to people like, "Yeah, sure, you care about kicking." As I break this down to you, I thought it was interesting. Maybe you think it's interesting, maybe you don't, but that's not what the take is about. One thing Brant Boyer said is this is a competition in front of everybody. The reason the kickers are alternating kicks instead of you take some segment of practice, you take another segment of practice, or you get a day of practice and then the other guy gets another day, it elevates the competition. He says everybody's watching. He remembers as a player how much he enjoyed watching when he knew 2 guys were competing for a spot, and these 2 guys are competing for a spot: Greg Joseph and Jake Moody. And the reason that proves, I think that ties don't go to Jake Moody necessarily, is that you can't hide the results. And I guess in the case of, it's probably a faulty scenario if I say ties. Forget about ties. He will let whoever is the best kicker win the job, regardless of previous draft status or salary or anything else, because it's not a hidden competition. It is a competition in front of everybody. And this may not be breaking news to you. If you see a new snapper replace the punter, then you say, well, you get a draft pick. The special teams guy's probably going to have full authority over this. Maybe not full authority, but it's a real competition. Jake Moody missed 1 today. Greg Joseph missed 2 today. Moody made from 38 after Joseph missed right from 38. Joseph banged the left upright to the left, or banged the upright to the left from 46. Moody just missed that right. Hard to tell. No adrenaline from 46 yards. It didn't feel like it's as much leg as Moody has had in the past, but it's a 46-yarder, still a long kick. He said his adjusted motion takes a couple yards, maybe 1 or 2 yards off of his overall leg strength, a little trade-off to add consistency to the kick. But the take that I had early on, my immediate take after watching Brant Boyer when he got hired, was this guy's going to change things. And I think the reason I believe that then and still believe it now is that Kyle Shanahan he's got a coach that played at a high level on special teams, has Kyle Shanahan's ear and respect. And the evidence is already in. Kyle Shanahan will take his recommendations, will do what he thinks is best. Now, if Kyle's got a guy on offense that he likes, I don't know how it'll factor in to the final roster decisions. But this is a real competition, and I think Brant Boyer is already making an impact. Thomas Morstead, the punter, explained. I asked him a question about why Brant Boyer is such a good special teams. Boy, there's a lot of special teams. The editor might say we don't want this at the front of the video, but there is just a lot, I think, to like. Thomas Morstead said trust, honesty. He really is going to be brutally honest and straight up with you, and you always know where you stand with Brant Boyer. That's why he liked Brant Boyer, played for him in New York. So, god-awful coffee. So I think every time I see Brant Boyer speak or someone talks about him, it reaffirms what I believe will be a guy that makes a significant impact in the Niners special teams, and part of that impact is simply that Kyle Shanahan won't ignore him and what he says. A couple other things. One thing that really stands out when you watch this team practice right now is the lack of established receiver swag. And maybe Jordan Watkins, who does look pretty smooth out there, maybe he'll prove to be a rare thing in the Niners offense for Kyle Shanahan, which is an instant impact rookie receiver. Juwan Jennings practicing very hard. Demarcus Robinson, I did a video, I don't know, month and a half ago, that said I think everyone's ignoring, to that point, myself included, the impact that he's going to have, what a professional he is physically. He stands out on the field from a receiver standpoint, but he may get suspended. You know, a lot of the reports are that he likely will be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. So I think you really see George. I think one of the things, George Kittle's vocal presence on offense, it's not an offense that, now that Debo's gone, has a lot of front and center personality, vocal leadership. That's part of Purdy's job. It's not really Ayuk's thing anyway, but Ayuk, he is he plays hard, and so his play inspires a certain style that the Niners embrace. Trent Williams is obviously a leader. Cal Juszczyk's a leader. Jennings, you know, they don't have a lot of it now without Debo, right? You notice that. McCaffrey is a leader, but these are not boisterous, vocal guys. That's what George Kittle is. And so, there is a lot of value in George Kittle's health for this team, because he is a guy that presents in a way that just comes naturally to him, that is not necessarily natural for everybody else. So, McCaffrey. I didn't come down here with any expectation today that I would see Christian McCaffrey and draw any conclusions about Christian McCaffrey. But after watching Christian McCaffrey today, I think Christian McCaffrey looks fast. I think he looks fast. I think he looks good. That wasn't even on my list of, like, let's watch Christian today. I didn't think I'd reach any conclusions today. But he looks, I don't know if there are camps. I haven't been following the first 2 days of practice, if people are putting their sword down on one or the other. But I'm putting my sword down on Christian McCaffrey. Looks fast, looks explosive, looks crisp, looks sharp, looks really good. I think one other point I want to make on the receivers, because some of you might think that's a hollow point, which I would get. I mean, it's not really a on-field impact. It is an on-field impact thing, but it's not a play thing. You know, what's frustrating about an unproven receiver group, you don't have a first-round rookie, are the defensive backs getting the work they need? Iron sharpens iron is what coaches love to say when they have great players going up against great players, Trent Williams against Nick Bosa. But what about when you don't? So how does Renardo Green get better? How does Deommodore Lenoir get better? So that's disappointing. The flip side of that is, okay, like, go make a bunch of plays. At minimum, you should be making plays. Renardo Green had a really good practice today for the 49ers. You know, a lot's going to be expected of him moving into a full-time cornerback role, second year in the league. Are you going to take another step? The bar moves up when you go from rookie to second-year guy. Being good for a rookie is different than being good for a second-year guy, and obviously the role gets bigger. He had 3 pass breakups that really stood out. 2 of them were one-on-one with Juwan Jennings. One, I would say, less pass breakup and more like 50-50 ball, go make a play. And he was right on. Juwan Jennings is much bigger, much taller than Renardo Green, and he was right there with him. The vertical leap to get hands high and prevent a catch over the middle. Really impressive play. Had a pass breakup on Jordan Watkins, and then a deep ball to Juwan Jennings down the left sideline. I heard there were some reports of the Niners hitting deep balls, different than go balls. Go balls. Mac Jones today, deep ball to Juwan Jennings, a little underthrown. But still, Juwan Jennings is a big player. The onus is still on the cornerback to be able to run with a guy, turn around, a physical presence. Juwan Jennings can have a right to go through you and make a play if the ball's underthrown, and Renardo Green didn't let him. So Renardo Green, really good practice from him today. Punt returners are interesting. With Trent Taylor on the injured list, Bergen, rookie, Watkins, rookie. Nothing really to say today other than they both look like guys, especially Bergen, who's done it a lot, but Watkins too, guys who've played on special teams. They look comfortable. There have been times when you watch the Niners, you're like, this doesn't look comfortable. I know they're rookies, so a long way to go, but I thought they looked comfortable. How the corner's going to look early preseason games after going up against less than a stellar wide receiver group. Garendo looked good. I was disappointed to see Mason Pline drop the ball. He's wearing 43 now. I was disappointed to see him drop the ball because he is The thing on him, and I subscribe to it, having watched him a lot, natural pass catcher. He moves so athletically. He moves so smoothly, and he's for a guy his size and athleticism that the Niners have not had at tight end too. And so, it's kind of a guy. If you want to see a little more impact out of tight end, you're rooting for him a little bit. Like I hate to see him have a drop because I think he's got a unique skill set. So he'll be a guy at the top of the list when we get to the preseason that you really look forward to watching. So anyway, that is day 3. They'll be without pads on Sunday. A lot of kicking today. I'm the special teams guy around here. I don't know if that's true, but I do like special teams, and I don't know if Kyle Shanahan likes special teams. But it does feel like Kyle Shanahan has a more appropriate willingness, and Brant Boyer demands that. He's a demanding coach and coaching teammate, and I do think it's a huge part. It's a huge part of this team. Nick Wagner of ESPN asked the question, how much does the kickoff come into play? And it was a great question. I wasn't thinking about it today till he said it. It's going to be a huge part of the preseason. This is a long kicking competition, and the kickoff is a big part of it. Yeah, man, I'm kind of fired up to watch this kicker competition every day. It's cool. All right, so I'll be back out here on Monday. It'll be the first day of pads. I think they're already tired of no pads. They've had 3 days of it, and today being the third of 4 days, and even today they're like, all right, let's get the pads on, and they're ready to get the pads on. I think Kyle Shanahan is definitely ready to see him with the pads on. And, we'll talk more about that as it happens. But takes today, real competition. Receivers not talented enough. Renardo Green looked good. Garendo also and McCaffrey looked good. No Purdy, but at this point, as long as he's back Sunday, no news. Not really newsworthy. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but time to beat the traffic.